happy Sunday. It's Joe, and it's time for a Pikkit with Joe. We've got 3 great games on the ice today. Just want to give a big shout out to everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday so far. So big shout out to Mike. Thank you for already being here. It is an amazing Sunday. I have got my, 10th cup of coffee? It feels like 10. Pretty sure it's not. Kev, happy Sunday to you too. So you guys, 3 games on the board. Yesterday, we saw Edmonton absolutely dominate over the Vegas Golden Knights. I did not expect that one. Really do think Edmonton takes game 3. They looked so phenomenally strong in that last game. We'll see what happens back in Edmonton, but for today, we got 3 games on the ice. Let's break these down. The first game kicks off at the bottom of the hour here, so we got 30 minutes to get these bets in. The Carolina Hurricanes take on the New Jersey Devils. Now, the Canes leading the series 2-0. We've seen the Devils in this situation. This is the same situation they were in versus the Rangers, except in this one, they're going to be home for game 3. In that series versus the Rangers, they were in New York, but able to beat the Rangers in the Garden. Change of location, absolutely pivotal here for the New Jersey Devils. Now, we know the Carolina Hurricanes have got over their issues from last season about struggling on the road, but this was a team that did struggle in the playoffs last series on the road. I do think there's value on the New Jersey Devils here, especially their backs are against the wall. This team needs to absolutely get out on the ice. They need to score first, and they need to be able to score more than 1 goal here on Frederik Andersen. Their way of winning this game is going up and over their team total of 2.5, but I can't get behind it, you guys. It's just way too much juice on that team total of 2.5. That would be a live betting option. When we see a slower first period, you're seeing the juice drop on the team total of 2.5 for the Carolina, not for the Carolina Hurricanes, for the New Jersey Devils. That's when I'd hit their over 2.5. Now, the Carolina Hurricanes have been absolutely phenomenal. They got 5 goals in game 1, 6 goals in game 2. That 5th goal in game 1 did come from an empty netter situation. So this total of 5.5, I do think the Devils are to win it. It has to go over. I really do expect 3 goals out of the Devils. We could see this being a 3-2 situation, staying under if the Devils can contain the Carolina Hurricanes, but we haven't seen that as of yet. Vanacek is expected in goal and not Smid, so we'll see if Vanacek can have a strong one in this one. I'm not willing to take goalie props in this one, especially for the New Jersey Devils, because I think the goaltending issue is such an issue that we could see Vanacek start early and then Smid put in. So we will see what happens there, but I do think the Devils absolutely have to answer first. I'm going to take the Devils in the first period on that puck line. Call me crazy, but we have seen the Devils bounce back when they change locations. So taking them here on the puck line, laying that half a goal, it's plus 175. You guys freaking know that plus money is so enticing to me. Now you can take them for the full game, shop your line. So because anywhere from minus 139 to minus 150 there for the Devils on home ice. If you like the Carolina Hurricanes, they've proven to us that they are able to beat this New Jersey Devils team. But I think this change in location will, and the home crowd will be behind the Devils tonight. So I am looking for the Devils to be able to pull this one off. Matt, good morning to you and happy Sunday. Oilers beat me last night too. I was riding though. I was lucky enough to take both of the team totals over because I thought that game was going to go over. So I lost Vegas's team total to the over and hit that first period. So it was quite the game, that's for sure. Sam, big shout out to you too. Oh, he only needed 5. I hate when that happens, Anthony. It is so frustrating when these pitchers come out and can't get us the strikeouts that we need. So I'm sorry to hear that. But you guys, I do think Timo Meier has been held off the scoreboard. I think he is someone you should look at for the Devils to start finding a way to get things done. I'm also going to look at Jack Hughes. Rumor is he lost a tooth in that last game. Did you guys see that? Because I didn't see that, but my daughter, who loves Jack Hughes, told me that he lost a tooth. They've been showing it all over TikTok too. So apparently he did lose a tooth. I would look at Sebastian Aho to come out strong again for the Carolina Hurricanes, looking at his shots on goal as well. Definitely a solid way to go. And Joe, I do think this one has to go over that total of 5.5. Like I was saying, I think the Devils score at least 3 in this one, unless they contain the Carolina Hurricanes, which you just can't see them doing. This should be a 4-3 style game going over that total. I really do think the Devils have every opportunity to win. Would this one be a 3-3 going to OT? It absolutely could be. I think the possibility of overtime is great. I struggle with the Devils if it does go to overtime, though, because I think they will have a really hard time in OT. But we know this team. We know what they're able to do versus the Rangers. So we got to have a little bit of faith in them here on their home ice. Let's look at the next game. Frederik Andersen, save shots on goal is an interesting one to look at. 27.5 is his number. In the last game, we look at this. The Devils just cannot give the Carolina Hurricanes an opportunity on the power play. The power play was 1-2 for the Carolina Hurricanes, 0-3 for the Devils in the last game. We saw the Canes dominate. Well, not dominate. They won 50.8% of the faceoffs there, but they were the dominant team in getting those hits. I'm getting a lot of forechecks in that game. 35 shots on goal. It was 24 hits on the Devils in the last game. Devils were the stronger team with getting those hits at 31. It really did look like the Canes were the stronger team with getting those hits, but they were not able to. In game 2, we had a scoreless first period. We rode the under 1.5. I'm cautious of that because I do think the Devils get a goal in that first period. I'm not sure if the Canes will as well. So I'm staying off that first period under 1.5, but I would lean to the goals coming in for the Devils. Could they get 2? Absolutely. I think the Devils have to get off to a hot start to be able to get things done. We did see in game 1, in the second period, we saw 4 goals out of the Canes in the last game. So that was the weakest period for the Devils in the last game. Let's look at the second game. Yeah, I do think we probably sprinkle it to go to overtime, Kev. I'm with you. It seems like a game that has every opportunity to go to OT. I think it is a really tight one there. We know the Canes, when push comes to shove, the Devils are up at that very end. They're going to find a way to find the back of Vanacek or Smith's goal, whoever is standing at the end of that game. So I do think the possibility of OT, it's just if it goes to OT, my fingers are crossed for this Devils team because they so need to get this win. If they lose tonight, backs against the wall in game 4 at home, it's going to be a scary situation. But if they lose tonight, I really do think the Canes take the full series. Burns over 3.5 shots on goal. Let me know what kind of juice you're going to pay on Burns for the over 3.5 shots on goal. But he's been cashing for us, getting his shots on goal. So it has been working. Yeah, I really do hope the Devils show up as well. This young, talented team is full of fire, and I see them doing big things on their home ice tonight. So I do think it's the right way to go. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers, you guys, Toronto down 2-0 in this series. Florida just coming out, playing with house money. This team has been absolutely phenomenal so far. They were able to beat the Bruins, now rolling through the Maple Leafs here, winning those first 2 games in Toronto. Bobrovsky has been absolutely phenomenal. He faced 37 shots in the last game. He only allowed 2 of those to go in. So his save shots on goal today is coming in at 29.5, and you guys absolutely know I'm hitting that. Over 29.5 save shots on goal for Bobrovsky is coming in at -136. So we are going to lay some juice, but I definitely think worth it. Game 1, 4-2 win for the Florida Panthers, and that game 2 was a 3-2. The majority of the goals coming in the first period of that last game. Toronto led that first period 2-1. So it was really interesting to see the Florida Panthers come back. You guys know how quickly they scored those first 2 goals in that second period and ended up winning that one. So in that last game, 37 shots on goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 29 for the Florida Panthers. They were both playing really physical. Toronto getting 48 hits, 42 for the Panthers. The Panthers need to stay out of the frickin' box. And this is one thing that I keep screaming every time I watch this team play. They went 0-1 on their power plays, but they allowed Toronto to go 1-3 on their power plays in that last game. And Toronto absolutely dominated that face-off, winning 68.5% of the face-offs in that last game, but still unable to win that game as you know what we saw. We saw the Florida Panthers just keep rolling. OT for the first 2 games. I'm with you, Sam. I do think this one has every possibility of going to overtime between the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, here we did see that 3-2 finish in the last game, 4-2 in that first. I think it is tight, but I do think it's a tight, high-scoring one. I know the last game finished with 5 goals. The first game finished with 6. We still have a total of 6.5. So it looks like we have wiggle room to the under, but I'm not buying it. I really do think we see both of these teams get some quick goals in this one. Another over 1.5 in the first period at -148. I think both of these teams knowing they need to hit first, they need to get the momentum going. While we do have solid defenses, we still saw Toronto able to get those shots. We saw Toronto able to win those faceoffs, and Florida needs to come out with some passion in this game on their home ice, and I do think they will. Montour has been absolutely incredible for this team, for the Florida Panthers. I'm going to look at his shots on goal today and his anytime goal. Take both of those. Matthew Tkachuk, we know the captain of this team, is the heart and soul of this team. And he, as long as he stays out of that freaking box, he will find the back of Samsonov's net tonight. I absolutely believe it. So I'm going to ride the Florida Panthers team total over 3.5. That's coming in at +123. Could this be a 4-5 game with Toronto pulling it off? Absolutely. It could be. Could it be a 4-3 with the Florida Panthers pulling it off? Absolutely. So either way, I like the Panthers team total over 3.5. And at +123, I'm absolutely biting on that. Now, Austin Matthews, when we look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, we have to take him for that anytime goal. He has played phenomenally strong for Toronto, and he's played really well in Florida. He's been able to get the first goal in the last 2 games in Florida for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you can take him at +120 for an anytime goal, or you can take him at +230 or 430 for the first anytime goal scorer from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I do think that's a phenomenal way to go. Austin Matthews has to get things going here. Ryan O'Reilly, another person I really like today in this one. And Mitch Marner coming in here for that anytime goal, +230 as well for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I think you've got a couple of really good options. Again, I see the goals coming in this one. I do think Bobrovsky still goes over his save shots on goal, though. But looking at that last game, Toronto putting up 37 shots, Bobrovsky saved 35. That gives us tons of wiggle room in this one for, even if we get 35 shots out of the Toronto Maple Leafs, they sink 3 of those, we're still going to go over that 29.5. So I do think it's a great way to go. Mike leaning on Toronto tonight. I like it. Best of luck with Toronto. Leafs and Panthers, hard to figure out. OT repeating. Yeah, OT, I completely agree. This one, 3-3 going into OT, 4-4 going into OT, one way or the other. I really do think is going to hit. How about the over on GS 17.5? How about the over on the goals scored? Okay, what do you mean by GS? I'm drawing a complete blonde moment, maybe. GS 15.5. Let me know. Big shout out to you, Travis, as well. Toronto's going to get smoked. I don't know if they're going to get smoked. I do think they come to play. I am doing great. Thank you. Oh, Grand Salami, 17.5. All games total over 17.5. Okay, so what are we? We got 3 games here. If we get 7 goals, let's say we get 7 goals out of Toronto and Florida. You're saying 17.5. So now we need 10.5 more goals. We know yeah, I actually think you could be really close, because if we get 5 and 6 in the other 2, that is 14. You got 18 goals. I think you could hit that Grand Salami over 17.5. I think you probably hit right. You're either hitting 17 or 18 goals in this game. So that number right on target. I like it too, Michael, as well. So best of luck with the Grand Salami. Something I don't play, you guys, not something I look at hitting, because you got three games, 6 teams that you need to play the way that you expect. But it is Sunday fun day. Let's go for these goals. Let's hit the over 17.5 in the Grand Salami of those goals. Florida is going to sweep Toronto. Don't say that too loud. Cam Stewart might hear us, and he might Oh, I feel for Cam Stewart. His Toronto Maple Leafs really need to get things going. Good luck to your Yankees today. Best of luck for sure. I think the Yankees have definitely a good game on board today. Yeah, you've got Garrett Cole up there. I had Cole strikeouts over 6.5. So let me know how many strikeouts Garrett Cole has for the Yankees so far over the Tampa Bay Rays. What are we? We're the bottom of the 6-2 for the Yankees. So I like what I'm seeing there. You guys, let's get to this very last game. The Dallas Stars taking on the Seattle Kraken. Man, what a series this has been so far. So we've got a series tied up 1-1. We know Seattle won that first game and no one expected it. No one saw it coming. They won in Dallas. This is a Seattle Kraken team that has been absolutely phenomenal out there on the ice. Grubauer has been standing so tall. Now they've been doing it without Jared McCann since the last couple of games versus the Colorado Avalanche. Jared McCann's still listed as day-to-day. I really hope he gets back in the game sooner than later because I do think with him on the ice, the Seattle Kraken have a better chance at taking this series. Now, the Dallas Stars, I love what I've seen out of this team as well. They are another team that really dominated the faceoffs in Game 2, winning 68.8% of the faceoffs. They won the last game. They went 1-3 on the power play. Seattle unable to convert on their power play, top penalty kill for the Dallas Stars. Now, the more physical teams was Seattle, but Dallas able to get more shots. So 45 hits out of the Seattle Kraken, 32 hits out of the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars had 37 shots on Grubauer. Grubauer, like I said, absolutely has been standing on his head. We got to ride his save shots on goal over 27. It's coming in at it's 27.5. It's coming in at -118. I do think Grubauer comes out phenomenally strong again in this game. He is pivotal for Seattle to be able to get this win. Now, this is their first game on home ice. We saw how strong they were versus Colorado in those first periods. And while it hasn't always been the case in this series so far, I do think we see Seattle on home ice come out and answer first. I'm going to take Seattle in the first period. I am sprinkling on Seattle at home in this one for the full game as well. But this Dallas Stars team is so potent. Now, in the first period, you can get the Seattle Kraken at +116. I'm looking for them to punch pass first. I'm looking for them to stay out of this penalty box. If they give the Dallas Stars the opportunity, the Dallas Stars will score. So Hines, I love for the Dallas Stars. You can take his shots on goal over 2.5. It's at -110. And I don't understand why the books are giving us -110 at over 2.5. I really thought this number, when I first saw it was 2.5, was going to be like -140. In the last 2 games, he's got 4 shots on goal and 5 shots on goal. So he is easily able to go over 2.5 shots on goal. You could look at him for those anytime goals as well. I'm looking at Jordan Eberle of the Seattle Kraken. With McCann out, we've seen a lot out of him as of late. You can get him for a point. He just has to get 1 point at -104, and it's a beautiful way to go. In the last game, he had a goal and an assist. In the last game, he had a goal, and the game before, he had a goal and an assist. So he has been getting the points on the board. His shots on goal, another way to look. He had 4 shots in the last game, 3 shots in the game before. So Jordan Eberle really getting on the board. Love his points today. So with McCann still day-to-day, we got to look at these other guys to be able to get things done. We saw that Game 2 hit 6 goals. 4-2 win for the Dallas Stars. Game 1, that was an OT, 5-4 win for the Seattle Kraken. So we're seeing the goals come in for the team that is getting the win. So look at those team totals of whoever you're liking here to get the win. Now this total's sitting at 5.5. So let's just quickly review those team totals again, because I cannot remember what juice you were paying on those from looking earlier this morning. The Seattle Kraken's team total is 2.5 at -110. It is too low, you guys. That's the number they were giving us versus Colorado as well. I do think the Kraken can get 3 goals in this one. The Dallas Stars coming in at that 2.5, but too juiced. A -166 for over 2.5 goals here for the Dallas Stars. So if you're liking the Seattle Kraken over 2.5, I could see this being a 4-3 game, though. I could see this one going to overtime. All 3 games have the opportunity of going to overtime today. So if you like even if you like Dallas, if you do think the Kraken can get 3 goals, minus 110 for the over 2.5. Let's go. Yeah, Grubauer playing absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, the Kraken have been able to make it their game. Absolutely, they have. So I do think this is a great one here for them. Toronto's team total over 3.5. Edward, I do think Toronto could get over 3.5. I do trust in the Florida Panthers to go over 3.5 a little bit more so on their home ice in this game. But we know this Toronto team. I see it playing out 2 ways. 4-3 win for the Florida Panthers, or this is a 5-4 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't see it being reversed. If Toronto comes out absolutely insane in this game, which I think they absolutely need to. They need to come with fire. Ryan O'Reilly, Austin Matthews, Tavares, all of these guys need to bring their A game. All of these guys have every opportunity to score, rack up the goals. It will come down to Bobrovsky if they can get 4 goals on him or 5 goals on him. So I do think whichever team you think is going to win that game, Edward, though, gets over 3.5 goals in that game. I do think it's Florida that finds 4 goals, but if you believe it's Toronto, definitely hit their team total over 3.5. Something is going. Something is going. What is going? You guys, it's going to be a phenomenal game on the ice for all 3 of these games. We're going to be kicking off right away between the Dallas Stars, the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. So get your bets in, you guys. Just quick recap. I'm not parlaying anything. You guys can parlay what you want, but what I'm liking, give me the New Jersey Devils first period puck line, laying a half a goal plus 175. I absolutely love this. Give me the Devils for the full game. Minus 139 to minus 150. Don't hit it if you get minus 150. Sebastian Aho. That's how you say it. Over 3.5 shots on goal. Sebastian Aho for the anytime goal. Timo Meier finally to get on the scoreboard with an anytime goal. Jack Hughes, shots on goal. No value on the Devils team total, but I do like their team total a lot to the over. But unless you're parlaying their team total, don't touch it. It's just too juicy at minus 156. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers, Bobrovsky, safe shots on goal, over 29.5. Absolutely love. First period, over 1.5 between these two. It's juicy, but nice parlay piece at minus 148. The Panthers team total over 3.5 at plus 123. If you like Toronto, I do think you guys 4-3. OT possibility, 5-4 OT possibility here for these two teams. So the over is in play in my mind. The over first period. Austin Matthews, anytime goal. Mitch Marner, anytime goal. Matthew Tkachuk, anytime goal. Montour, anytime goal. Safe or shots on goal for all of these players. Definitely in play as well. And that last game, the Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken. Release the Kraken. Give me the Kraken in the first period on the money line at plus 116. You can do reverse puck line at minus a half a goal and get like plus 200. Guys know I freaking love that. The Seattle Kraken for the full game, plus 125. Grubauer, safe shots on goal, over 25.5 safe shots on goal. Hines of the Dallas Stars, over 2.5 shots on goal. This number is just way too low. You're getting that at minus 110. Jordan Eberle for a point tonight, over half a point is minus 104. He's been absolute fire for the Seattle Kraken. But you guys, that is it for Puckett with Joe. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. We've got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. I hope you guys enjoyed the Kentucky Derby and joined me yesterday on Sports Grid. That was great. Got Mage for that win. God, that was a fast 2 minutes. It wasn't even 2 minutes. It was such a fast race. But you guys, have a good one. I will see you back here tomorrow. I'm headed off to a friend's deck to celebrate her birthday. Her birthday was like a week ago. We're finally going to celebrate and watch some hockey on the deck. You guys have a fantastic day. Be good. Stay safe. Make some freaking money. And remember, only bet what you're willing to lose because nothing is a lock. No matter what anyone tells you, there's no such thing as a lock. You guys have a good one.